Good morning, and good news, the train just skedaddled out of town, so it is gone, and the streets are open. The farmer's market will be all set up in about another 35-40 minutes, as people already are starting to park and start paying attention to them setting up. So good morning, everybody. 770-386-1450 is our phone number if you'd like to be part of the program this morning, whatever we happen to be talking about. If you're like, hey, I want to contribute, or I have a question, or maybe you want to take me to task. Whatever your case, 770-386-1450. Some of these topics are a little bit of carryover from yesterday, only a little more detail from my show yesterday. If you're not a follower or a subscriber of my daily podcast, you ought to get it. It's The Alan Sanders Show. Pretty easy. It's nice branding. It's The Alan Sanders Show on all my social media. We talked a little bit about what's going on in the Texas House legislature. Texas, like every one of our states, has its own state constitution. And that state constitution has different pieces and parts to it. It cannot usurp the U.S. Constitution, but it's a way for a state to decide how the state will run. Remember, we're supposed to be 50 individual states underneath one flag. And so the state of Texas, like a lot of states, has the option of looking at its data that it collects about where people live, where people have moved to, where people have moved out or come in, and maybe even problems with prior census, where you can look at the last voter distribution. And they decided, you know what? We need to redistrict the state. Hey, Georgia draws its maps, every 10 years? We do the same thing here in the state of Georgia. So Texas legislature decided we need to redo the maps. Of course, there's always politics in this. You're not going to intentionally try to figure out how to draw maps to lose your party. But if you're trying to follow the Constitution, your state constitution, what you're trying to do is define districts based on, civil law, based on all the other things that go into, the laws of the land. But you're trying to get equal and fair representation. For example, we know we've got 9 Democrat states, that have been gerrymandered or redistricted, that there is not one GOP representative from that state. Now, you look at the national elections, you look at the most recent presidential election, these states will have anywhere from 30 to 40 to 45% of their population voting for the opposite candidate. But guess what? Even though it's the opposite candidate that 40% of the state might be made up of, there's zero representation. Is that fair? Well, elections have consequences, and these states decided to redistrict, and it's the way it is. Okay, it's the way it is. Until it's going to go the opposite direction, and then apparently now it's a constitutional crisis. See, that's my biggest thing about this, and that's the thing I try to remind the audience about. I get it, and it's laughable to think that it's not about trying to make sure that there are more seats for Republicans. I get it. It's political, yes. Just like Massachusetts redrew its state lines, its district lines, to make sure, beyond the shadow of a doubt, you couldn't have a Republican win. Just like Illinois gerrymandered enough of their districts that whatever you get as a Republican win doesn't really matter in the overall running of the state. Hey, Maine, no Republican representation. I think there's a total of 9 states. It's like New Mexico, it's Hawaii, it's Massachusetts, it's Connecticut, Rhode Island, Maryland. I think it's not Maryland, Rhode Island. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. Now, why am I talking about this right now? Because I think it's an important discussion to have, because either what goes on following your state constitution is okay, and yes, it's politics, but politics is what? A lot of arguing, a lot of sausage grinding. You got two sides that see things differently, and they've got to figure out who's going to win. And sometimes you don't get your way. It's kind of like telling a child, guess what? You don't get to get your way. This isn't Burger King. You can't have it your way. But these Texas Democrats are throwing little Well, they're giant size, but they're throwing temper tantrums. They're acting like petulant children. But Alan, if they don't do this, they're outnumbered. There's not enough of them to stop the GOP. Oh, well, better luck next time. Make a better argument, make a better case, win next time, and then redraw the maps next time. That's how it works. I don't understand why this is like hard to understand. Well, I don't know that this is working for the Democrats. I'll tell you that. I think it's actually looking bad because so many of them did flee to Illinois, one of the states that was intentionally, and everyone, both left and right, has said, okay, look, if you were going to pick a state to run to, J.B. Pritzker's state, Illinois, one of the bastions of gerrymandering to make sure that Democrats will always be in charge, you ran there? Some of them said, well, no, some of us ran to California. Oh, okay. Well, there are things within the state constitution that can be enacted, and I want to, I mentioned this at the close of my Friday show, but now I've got some audio to go with it. This is the Speaker of the Texas House who said, well, we're going to be able to do some things here because we're stuck. We don't have a quorum. We can't do the people's business because these Democrats have run away from their jobs, have run away from their responsibilities, have decided to take their ball and go home and pout like petulant little toddlers. So, much like any child, at some point a parent's going to have to step in. Here's the Texas Speaker.
I have been in constant communication with Department of Public Safety, which has been working to track down absent members in an effort to return them to our chamber. These efforts will continue through the weekend. For those that have fled to Illinois or to California, be reminded that the FBI's assistant has reportedly been enlisted, and their powers are not confined to any singular state's boundaries. As far as new administrative policies in our chamber go, Comptroller Kelly Hancock and I have enacted a new policy stating that any member absent for the purpose of breaking quorum will no longer have their paycheck or per diem deposited electronically. While the Constitution forbids us from withholding pay, it does not dictate how we issue the pay. Those checks must now be picked up in person on Capitol grounds, effective immediately. Starting today, to safeguard taxpayer dollars and account for forthcoming liabilities under Rule 5, Section 3 of House Rules, which authorizes fines for members absent without leave, 30% of each quorum-breaking member's monthly operating budget will be reserved and made unavailable for expenditure. Absent members must also appear in person to approve or enact any of the following: requests for travel reimbursement, personal action requests, including those increasing or decreasing staff salaries, approval for newsletters and House of Reproduction services. Failure to appear in person will result in the cancellation of your newsletters and the encumbered funds. We have all hands on deck. We are continuing to explore new avenues.
And yeah, that's where the clip actually ends. But they're not playing. I'm encouraged. I'm encouraged by this newfound sense of, oh, wait a minute. We also can play hard-nosed as long as we're playing by the rules. Oh, it's I don't want to get my hopes up. I really don't want to get my hopes up. But I'm starting to sense, and I think the people are okay with it, I'm sensing that enough is enough. We're tired of the petulance. We're tired of the whining. We're tired of the performative theater, of the social media stunts. I'm going to go and try to get myself arrested, try to play the victim knowing I am intentionally doing this. I'm going to have my entire team filming me so I can spend the next 2 weeks in the news cycle talking about woe is me and the loss of our democracy and blah, blah. It's like instead of actually working, instead of doing the job for which they were elected to do. By the way, nobody forces you to run to office. You understand that, right? There's nobody that walks down the street, puts a gun to your head and said, you must be a representative. You need to run for office. It's voluntary. You choose to do it. And if you choose and win, then you are expected to carry out your duties. I don't know. It's like any other job. You get hired, you're expected to do your job. Now, I know Ken Paxton, that's the Attorney General, has been called upon by the governor, Greg Abbott. It's Tim Abbott, as is that's the city councilman in New Harley. Greg Abbott has said there is court-ordered precedence to begin the removal of those representatives. And what that means is, per the Constitution of the state of Texas, if they go forward, folks, I believe there are at least 12 or 13 people that are already being looked at right now, court filings in the state superior court of Texas, filings from Ken Paxton saying we have 13 or 12 or 13, however many he's filed, people who are not doing their job. And because they're not doing their job and because they are intentionally avoiding being here for a quorum. Look, they could vote no on everything. They could vote absent on everything. They could no vote, but they have to have their butts in seats per their Constitution. And they're saying basically, if they refuse to do their jobs, then you're holding the whole state hostage. So we request to vacate them from office and let the governor appoint for the rest of their unexpired term replacements until the next election cycle. We'll talk more about that after the bottom of the hour. Time for GNN. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Waking Up with Alan. Alan Sanders here with you on a Saturday. The second Saturday of the month, just 1 hour from now, we will have a guest join us. We'll have, at the very least, one guest. We may have a duo, but Cindy Dent of Cindy Dent Homes, the only realtor used by Waking Up with Alan. We'll have her, I believe, in studios live, and it's going to be great because the last couple of months there's been conflicts, and not conflicts like a fighting, but like conflicts in her schedule. 770-386-1450 is the phone number to call if you would like to be part of the program. We left before the break with the Texas House, basically Dustin Burrows, the House Speaker in Texas, saying, look, our Constitution does not allow us to deny these absentee lawmakers their paycheck, but we can change the conditions by which they will be required to pick up their paycheck. They can also, and if you can't hear it in the background, we've got one of CSX's finest deciding to try to interrupt the broadcast. We can also interrupt portions of their budget, portions of what they use for their informing of their constituents, like their newsletters and other activities, the approval of travel arrangements, the approval of per diems. All that's got to be done in person now. They could change the rules that say, hey, the only way you're going to be able to do that is you got to show up in person. You don't want to show up. You know what? Why should we pay you to not do your job? Well, we can't deny you your paycheck, but we don't have to electronically deposit it. I mean, you're going to have to treat these children like the petulant little toddlers they are. If anyone thinks that what's going on in Texas is reasonable, that these lawmakers are acting reasonably, they're protecting democracy. Oh, no. They're not. No, because Democrats' version of democracy, their use of the word democracy means we get to do what we want. That's their version of democracy. And when they don't get to do what they want, then that's a crisis. It's an existential threat. That's not the definition of how we call or carry out our democratic principles. By the way, we are not a democracy, just so everybody knows. I'm using their words. We're a republic. Like it or not, that's what we are. Repeat the Pledge of Allegiance at some point in time and remind yourself what you're pledging to. You know, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. One nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Come on, everybody knows it. You're pledging to our republic. Very quickly, because I know it's been a while since I've reminded everybody of this. The difference is a democracy is mob rule. The majority always gets its way no matter what. A republic says, hey, yes, we like majority ideas, but not if it tramples over the rights of the minority. And the beauty about our republic, you can have a minority of one. A single person has the same rights as the largest group of people in the United States of America. big group of people. You cannot force people to move out of their homes, or you can't force people to buy a specific car. You can't make them, but guess what? Just like as an individual, you can't make me do the same thing. And even if everybody gets together and votes and says, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna have ourselves a good old-fashioned hanging. We're gonna get rid of that guy on the radio, and we're gonna have a hanging in the town square." And 99 out of 100 people all vote for it. It doesn't matter, because I have due process rights and I have a right to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. You can't deny me my life, no matter how many people on your side of the aisle want me to. That's the respect of the rights of the minority. So that's what we are, and that's why I always remind people of that. I know I've heard other talk show hosts, well, we know what we mean. We know what we mean by our democracy. No, I think that's been an intentional mislabeling for a long time now, because now what people have come to think it means is the majority gets its way. Well, that's not how it works. The majority doesn't get its way if it's going to trample over the rights of the minority. And you know what? I get it. The Democrat caucus in the Texas House is small now. They don't have everything. They can't demand anything. They're in a minority, but at least they're there. What should they be doing? They should be fighting the good fight for the people who sent them to office. And they're not going to win everything, but but they should be fighting for it. Abdicating their responsibility, running away, acting like toddlers, going on social media and pretending like there's some kind of warriors that we're supposed to hold them up, like, look at how good they are. And you got all the same actors, the same bad actors in this performative theater, all of the ones who have already done it to their own states. The governor of Massachusetts, the governor of New York, the governor of California. They're all out there, oh, this is so bad for our country. We applaud these lawmakers for standing up for No, they're abdicating their responsibilities. Well, you know, one of the people we found out that helped fund, using his political action committee, helped fund the private jet that flew a lot of those lawmakers out to Illinois was it three-time presidential failure attempt Beto O'Rourke? Yeah, that got found out. I don't know if you realized that over the last couple of days. Beto O'Rourke apparently was the one who funded the exodus of all of his fellow Democrats fellow in the sense he ran as a Democrat multiple times. Well, there is a law, folks, there's laws in Texas. Did you know there is a law that says if you're funding or in any way fundraising or in any way making it possible for these folks that are not doing their jobs in the legislature, if you are doing things to help make sure that they can stay away from their jobs, you're actually participating in basically it's a bribery scheme. It can be looked at as you're bribing those lawmakers to not do their jobs, so that way you don't see that law passed or that bill passed or whatever it is. It's like a bribe. You're paying them to make sure that the vote goes the way you want it to, right? Isn't that the same thing? So let me read this to you very quickly. A court has placed a lien on all of Beto O'Rourke's money and property. According to the story, thanks to a court order signed by Judge Megan Fahey, Beto O'Rourke can no longer raise or distribute money for or to the rogue Texas House Democrats who fled the state to avoid doing their jobs. Furthermore, she placed a lien on all money and property owned by the failed political candidate. If you see Beto, you might offer to buy him lunch. He might be getting a little hungry. This is a result of Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton's bribery investigation into Beto O'Rourke, as well as into George Soros, who also apparently behind the scenes through one of his NGOs may have funded the escape of these individuals and may be continuing to pay for them to live in another state. Judge Megan Fahey placed a lien on all of his money. Her order also prevents him from raising additional money and distributing it to rogue Democrats. So blah, blah, blah. Same thing goes on and on. But I will say this. I don't want to get too excited because I've seen multiple times in my career where I'm like, okay, it's nice to see that the Republican side of the aisle is willing to fight sometimes. It feels like they just roll over. They say a lot of things on the media. They'll put a lot of strongly worded letters and emails out. They may hold some hearings and gavel in people and then talk over them for their 5 minutes. But nothing really is accomplished. There's no real teeth in it. There's no real repercussion. It's all performative. It's all fakery. I don't want to get too excited because, and hey, if you are like me, if you're feeling a little like concern, let me know. 770-386-1450. Because it looks like you want to believe maybe, finally, we've got some folks that are saying, look, we're going to fight just as hard. We could be working together. We could be, working in concert with one another. But since the other side wants to play as dirty as possible within the bounds of the law, I hate to say it, at some point, if you can't beat them, join them. Stay within the bounds of the law. Make sure that no matter what you're doing, it is above reproach in the court of law. It may be hard. It may be even a little nasty, but stay within the bounds of the law. And I think that's the most important element to remind ourselves of. You have to stay. The rule of law means something. I talked about that earlier this week on my show. The rule of law needs to be at the heart of everything. Those three words are the very basis of our Constitution. In fact, our Constitution is the owner's manual of the United States. It is our rule of law, and we need to be following it, not ignoring it, not interpreting it in weird, cute ways to go with whatever we think would be cool today. There is a reason it's written the way it is. All right, we need to take a mid-conversation break. We're going to do that very quickly, and then we'll be back with more conversation on this and other topics. Don't forget, it is a Real Estate Second Saturday, so next hour, my guest will be Cindy Dent of Cindy Dent Homes. We'll be back with more of Waking Up with Alan.
This is Arnold Schwarzenegger, and when I'm not on set, I'm waking up with Alan on AM 1450 and 100.3 FM, WBHF.
It's Waking Up with Alan. Welcome back, everyone. Great to have you along. A beautiful start to the day. Mix of sun and clouds. A little bit of a breeze out there. And farmer's market, I think technically there's already some people milling around. So, yeah, it's going to be another beautiful Saturday here. I got to tell you, last weekend with the rain and because with the heat that had happened a few weeks ago, my lawn wasn't growing real fast. And so I said, you know what, I'm just going to hold off on cutting the grass a few days just to kind of let, first of all, we had the rain on the weekend, and I want to let kind of the grass grow a little bit. I decided to do it Thursday. I don't have to worry about doing any outdoor lawn work. I told my wife, I'm like, I can't wait. When I get done with radio today, I can come home and we can do some other things, but I don't have to worry about like 2 hours of being out there cutting the grass. Well, it's about an hour and a half, but depending if I do some other things, it can be a long day, and maybe I get to play a little bit today. We'll see how that goes. We're talking about what the Texas legislature is doing. About now, Beto O'Rourke is finding himself in a little bit of trouble as well. I want to end on this note with this first hour. Once again, some of these are spillovers from what we talked about a little bit on Friday with the Friday episode of the Alan Sanders Show, which you can get everywhere, wherever you find your podcasts. I mentioned Judge Boasberg, Jeb Boasberg, the guy who has been the radical activist who always is a never-Trumper, always trying to figure out how he can thwart Donald Trump. Remember when he tried to stop Donald Trump from exporting or using the Alien Enemies Act to go after illegal aliens who were imported here for the entirety of the Biden administration? He tried to stop, he put an injunction. They had to argue all the way to the Supreme Court. And then the Supreme Court said, yes, the president is acting within the law. And Judge Boasberg tried some cute little end around to literally say, well, I don't care. My ruling stands. Literally trying to say, I don't care what the Supreme Court says. Isn't it amazing when they always talk about worrying about our democracy and falling into fascism? Once again, their version of those words is, as long as we get to do whatever we want, well, we're the good guys, and so therefore everything we're doing has to be good. But if somebody goes against us, well, then the bad guys are winning. It's such a weird dynamic that we have found ourselves in. Well, Judge Naomi Rao did not hold back on her criticisms of Judge Boasberg with his contempt order, because it's been overruled again. Noting his underlying temp restraining order, his TPO basically, but his temporary restraining order banning removal of alien enemy subjects has been overturned by the Supreme Court, Rao and Judge Katsas both accused Boasberg of attempting an end around the Supreme Court of the United States by pursuing criminal contempt charges unless the Trump Department of Justice complies with his long since vacated order. Rao, here's her exact quotes. The district court, there's another word, Boasberg, the district court's order is a clear abuse of discretion that warrants the drastic and extraordinary remedy of mandamus. When an injunction, the temporary restraining order, has been vacated, as occurred here, a district court loses the authority to coerce compliance with that order. Punishment through criminal contempt might still be available in these circumstances, but the district court cannot use the threat of such punishment as a backdoor to obtain compliance with a now vacated and therefore unenforceable TRO, temporary restraining order. The district court's abuse of the contempt power is especially egregious because contempt proceedings against senior executive branch officials carry profound separation of powers overtones that demand the most sensitive judicial scrutiny. Lacking the authority, this is all the judge's words, lacking the authority to compel obedience, the district court nonetheless pressured the government to take custody of alleged alien enemies held in El Salvador. This intrusion on the president's foreign affairs authority constitutes an unwanted impairment of another branch in the performance of its constitutional duties. And, or in not an apostrophe quote there, constitutional duties. She says, because the order exceeds the court's authority and amounts to a clear abuse of discretion, mandamus is appropriate. In other words, Jeb Boasberg, pound sand. Go find somewhere else to climb up your activist tree and scream from the mountaintops, but you don't get your way because you were already overruled by the Supreme Court. You can't try this end around to threaten compliance. Once again, children, adult-sized human beings throwing children like temper tantrums. That's Judge Boasberg. That's what he's doing. Throwing a tantrum like a child. I get when you don't win. I understand. We all want to win. Sometimes life doesn't let us. Sometimes we get dealt the bad hand. Sometimes you just have to take it and go ahead and move along. Sometimes you got to take the punches and keep going. Like Rocky says to his son in Rocky Balboa. Life hits you hard. It will always hit you hard. And you know what? The real winner, the real fighter, is not the person who dodges the punches. It's who takes the punches and keeps going. It's who gets right back up and says, "I'm ready for another round." That's what it is to be a hero. That's what it is to be a warrior. To be somebody who's honorable. You're not going to win everything. But these folks who get so enraged and so, first of all, I think what it is, it comes from a position where I think a lot of them feel very entitled because of either their position or where they come from, or that the fact that they have power, and because of that, they feel like they can make people do what they want. They can force compliance. It's a very elitist view. Hey, I'm a judge. You'll do what I say. You're not a judge. I'm the judge. I get to decide. Well, once again, we're a republic. A republic means, yeah, you might have power, you might even have authority, but you don't have the authority to ignore the rights of others, and you don't have the authority to trample over the very Constitution of which you are one of three branches. You don't. It's just how it is, and you're going to have to deal with it. As we start to wind down, let me give you an obvious difference between folks that are on the right and folks that are on the left. South Park just got renewed. The same company that runs the late night show that said Stephen Colbert is losing so much money, the Late Show is losing so much money that we're going to cancel it, that when the contract runs out, we're just not going to renew. We're just not going to have a late night show because we're losing $40 million a year. And people are like, whoa, see, they're censoring speech because the president doesn't like that Stephen Colbert doesn't like him and he brings guests on that slam. Yeah, okay. Do you know who else Paramount owns? South Park. One of the longest, one of the most successful running animated satire series in history of television. Yes, South Park still exists. Got renewed, and the guys, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, are basically going to walk away with $1.5 billion over the next few years because of the money that they can bring to Paramount. Do you know what South Park's been doing? They had an episode where they had Trump look like, what's his name from Fantasy Island, Mr. Rourke. And they had J.D. Vance as what's his name? It was, it's Mr. Rourke and Tattoo. They literally have Donald Trump as Mr. Rourke and J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance shares a screen grab saying, I finally made it. I've become a South Park. The difference is there are folks who have a sense of humor, and there are those who are bitter and humorless. It's 8 o'clock, top of the hour, WBHF Cartersville. Here's Fox News. Good morning, everybody. It is coming up on 18 minutes past the hour. The farmer's market in full swing. Beautiful start to the day. Alan Sanders with you here. The phone number is 770-386-1450 if you'd like to be part of the program. It's a real estate second Saturday. And we will actually have our guest in studio in just a little bit after the bottom of the hour. We'll shift gears. I've got to share... I love X. I do. I do so much vetting of information on X. I do a lot of my research on X. I've cultivated so many resources, formerly Twitter, so many resources to help make my job of news talk, or talk in general, but in this realm, for my daily show, for when I fill in other places and for other hosts, and of course for you here on a Saturday. It is now granted, there are a lot of knuckleheads on there. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of nonsense. There's a lot of paid. I can't believe the number of paid shills who know they're out there to lie every single day, to misrepresent the truth, misrepresent the facts, try to convince enough people that America is bad and we should hate the country, we should hate the president, we should hate everything, we should hate the Constitution. I don't get it. I would not be able to sleep at night if I was getting a paycheck to do that. I get a paycheck to tell people about, why our country's great and loving our nation and what we could do to get our nation even better and what are the things that we need to fix and resolve, not ignore. We were talking about what's going on in Texas with Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, and, of course, Greg Abbott, the governor. And... having a great time talking about what they're doing to eventually show some backbone. I want to read from yesterday 2 tweets. The tweets are basically 2 hours apart. We already told you that there is now a judge have ordered a lien on all of Beto O'Rourke's finances and property as the investigation is going into how much money did he pay to help the Texas legislators abscond from the state to go hide somewhere else. That is considered bribery. You're literally bribing a public official to get a vote the way you want that vote to go by paying to have them not show up. Yesterday at 4:47 p.m., I'd already finished my show. In fact, I'd been done with my show for almost 2 hours By 4:47, my wife and I were already enjoying our luau at the Outpost in downtown New Harley. Beto O'Rourke puts out on X, "We just sued Ken Paxton in state court, taking the fight directly to him." 2 hours later, Attorney General Ken Paxton, breaking, "I just defeated Beto O'Rourke in court." I love X. I'm never getting rid of it. So Beto O'Rourke puts out this tweet. "They want to make examples out of those who fight so that others won't. Paxton's trying to shut down Powered by People, one of the largest voter registration organizations in the country, because our volunteers fight for voting rights and fight for free elections, the kind of work that threatens the hold that Paxton and Trump and Abbott have on power in Texas." He also goes on to say, "In addition to helping register hundreds of thousands of voters, our members have volunteered in other important ways, including picking up thousands of shifts at Texas food banks during Abbott's electricity grid failure in 2021. This is the person you get in a fight with who decides, I'm going to bring up anything and everything you've ever done to try to win the fight today. Like, literally is bringing up, this is your typical sub-beta male, jazz hands, weak, noodled, not masculine, not male. This is Beto O'Rourke. Literally, his name is Beto, but he's a beta. He also purchased nearly $1 million in supplies, and now Paxton's filed a restraining order to try to take us out of the fight. Attorney General Ken Paxton responds to that. Cry more, lib. He says, "You lost in court because you're breaking the law and you're deceiving Texans. We will absolutely make an example out of lawbreakers." I'm going to say it again. I am cautiously optimistic that some folks have finally decided it's okay to fight the fight, to not cave, to not capitulate, to not be bowled over and pushed over, not just, again, their version, the right's version of performative theater, the strongly worded email, the strongly worded press conference, the we're going to hold hearings, and no one ever gets held accountable. No one ever ends up serving any prison time. Nobody ends up losing their House seats or their Senate seats. Nobody ends up being. We are so frustrated with this era in which we live, where people are afraid to fight the fight. If somebody is punching you in the face, you're not going to just win that fight by saying, "Okay, I have a strongly worded response." They're just going to punch you right in the face again. "Okay, but I have another strongly worded response." That's not going to work. It's just not. At some point, you're going to have to, well, as the police tell us all the time, we rise our level of response to whatever degree is necessary, only to such degree as necessary to reduce the threat and get the situation under control. And if that means I have to use mace, then I'm going to use mace. If it means I have to use a wand or a baton, and if it means I have to use my taser, and if it means I have to shoot you, I will continue to escalate to match your escalation until one of us wins. Well, it's nice, and again, I'm cautiously optimistic here. It's real nice when we start seeing some folks that are saying, no. We're tired of our version of performative theater. You guys like to go on social media. You like to stage things. You like to lie. You like to rephrase the history. You like to gaslight. You like to leave things out. You take things out of context. Your version of performative theater is much more complex and dynamic because you have the whole media apparatus. You have your entire Democrat propaganda wing. But that's their version. The right's version of performative theater has been, well, we're going to do everything except actually really fight back. We're not going to really go all the way. We're going to say we are, and then we're going to fall short every single time. And I know I have so many of my friends and some of the more staunch voices that I follow and I'm really good friends with when it comes to the news talk era. They've already decided nothing's going to happen. There won't be anything at all that's going to happen to any of these Democrats. The 2016 stuff that's coming out, all the people behind the scenes, all the criminality, all the 10 years that we've had now, or almost 10 years of the grand criminal conspiracy. Oh, they're not going to do anything. Why are we even talking about it? Kristi Noem, she's just a dummy. A.G. Bondi has already been bought and paid for by the deep state. Kash Patel's not going to do anything. And let me just remind this audience what I said months ago. Give it a year. Stop assuming that because you haven't seen someone arrested in the first week of these people being put in their positions that they've been bought and paid for by the deep state. Stop it. I said, at the very earliest, if you want to strategize the maximum way to deal with what the left has been doling out for the last near decade, you don't do it in February or March or April. You wait till we get closer to the announcement of the midterm election cycle. You wait till late summer, early fall, and then you start announcing your couple of grand juries being sequestered. You start dropping evidence here and there. You declassify. You start putting the information out so that way it's constantly being reminded to the American people of what's been happening behind the scenes, what's been going on in the deep state, what's been going on that we haven't been told about, or maybe some of us know, but we didn't have the evidence, or we didn't have enough people who knew it and wanted to believe it. We're dripping it out, and we're seeing people starting to fight back. In my estimation, this is exactly how I would want to roll it out. Because if you're trying to have a positive impact for the agenda that was overwhelmingly voted for, that won all 7 swing states, that won the support for the first time on the Republican side of the aisle of the popular vote in more than 20 years, then you roll this out in a strategic fashion to do the maximum damage to your political opponent, not fake damage, not making stuff up, not inventing things, not lying to a FISA court, not going and wringing the arms behind people's backs in the intelligence community to write new intelligence reports to have it say what you want it to say. I mean, you fight back with the very documents that they faked, they created, they lied about, and you do it at maximum impact to their re-election chances. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, you're playing, yes, it's going to be really brutal, may even be downright nasty, but you're staying within the bounds of the law. And you know what? Maybe it's going to take that to finally get everybody to start playing normal again instead of this performative theater. Once again, the right's performative theater has been, well, we're going to have strongly worded letters and press conferences, but no one ever actually goes to jail. No one's ever actually punished. No one's ever actually held accountable. It is so frustrating when you watch all the evidence, all the speeches, all of the testimony, all of the hearings, and then nothing happens. Performative theater. It looks good, sounds good, but nothing actually happens. The left's version of performative theater, we're going to stage an arrest. We're going to go pretend that we're supposed to barge into an ICE facility and we're supposed to be able to go walk around like we just own the place, knowing full well they're not, and knowing that's against the law. But we're going to film it, and then we're going to lie to our friends. We're going to lie to our supporters. Look, they're arresting us. Look, they're stopping democracy. And it's all performative. It's all performance art. It's theater. It's professional wrestling. They're all out there with their costumes and their scripts. You got good guys, you got bad guys, but it's all performative until, well, people start actually enforcing the law. Because remember, when you break it all down, 3 most important words: rule of law. We either do it or we don't follow it. Either one. You got to pick. We either like the rule of law or we want to make it up as we go. Bottom of the hour, 8:30. Here's GNN. Good morning. Welcome back. Waking Up with Alan here on a Saturday. Great to have you along. And it is a really important... Get away from me. I got Walt into Darkness showed up with a mask. Take that diaper and put it somewhere else. I'm going to talk to you later, sir. I have two ladies I'd rather be talking to. It is a Real Estate Second Saturday, and it is my pleasure to welcome back the dynamic duo from Cindy Dent Homes and Gina Durbano. We've got Cindy Dent, Gina. Good morning, both.
Good morning, Alan.
Good morning.
Great to have you in studio.
It's great to be here.
back.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of months.
Like it's been a while.
It's like you guys are busy or
We've
something.
been busy.
What do you do?
We
Have
have
jobs?
been busy. Work?
I know. I said I was not going to miss this Saturday, no matter what.
Hey, you know what? That's the thing about the real estate business. It's not necessarily just Monday to Friday, 8 to 5.
It's never Monday to Friday.
My
Monday
goodness.
through Friday,
Oh,
8
yeah.
to 5.
It's just, we can just make our own schedule, can't we?
Yeah, that's what-
It's like
That's what
trying to be
everybody thinks.
in the news department, say, well, news only breaks from like 9 o'clock in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. Otherwise, no, it's 24/7.
Yep.
Right.
So-
You're on call 24/7.
So let's talk a little bit about your development very quickly, because, I mean, I'm watching it go up on the corner, the overlook. It's looking great.
Yeah, City Overlook, the new townhomes at the intersection of Bartow and Main Street. They're coming along, and the first 5 you see, as you drive by. We have 13 more to go. All of those are under contract with the exception of the one on the end, which is our model, the one on the Bartow Street end. That'll be open hopefully sometime late fall for people to go through and preview.
Yeah. And, we're going to be actually, since all the ones on Main Street are spoken for, we're going to be opening the second building number 2, which will be the one right behind it. And they will be, although they will not be facing Main Street, there will actually be buildings 2 and 3 will be facing a beautiful courtyard that's, the landscaping design.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. Absolutely gorgeous. A lot of hardscape lighting. So each building has its own really beautiful feature that people kind of want. So building 2, we'll be releasing those very soon. Actually, we can start taking reservations for those. They're clearing the land right now, getting ready to start the foundation for it. So we're getting ready for those too. So give us a call if you'd like to talk about those.
Yeah, and like Gina said, they face the courtyard, they face each other.
They face
so
each
the
other.
front doors face each other
Yeah, it's
with
beautiful.
a beautiful courtyard in the middle.
So
it's
is
really
that
cool.
a shared space then, sort of that
Yes.
Yeah,
courtyard?
it is. It's a shared
Yes.
space amongst the whole community.
So can you give me, because I haven't seen any layout, explain what that courtyard is. Is it going to be, is there a lighting scheme? Is there
Oh my
like
gosh.
benches and
It's
seating? Like
benches
how does it
and
work?
hardscaping and lighting. It is all brickwork. It looks like an old park. I don't
Yeah.
know any.
It's like a
lot of
pocket
mature
park almost?
trees.
It is
It's-
kind of like a little park.
It is.
It's
It is
really cool.
beautiful.
Really cool.
Yeah,
I
it
could
is.
see the neighbors meeting there for let's get together and have a drink and walk downtown.
Almost like the
and go to
old-fashioned block
dinner.
party.
Yeah.
Yes. mhm.
Yeah.
And curved like. And the way he
Curved
incorpor-
seating.
curved seating with lighting underneath it, lots of street lamps and mature trees, and it's really beautiful.
I need to take a tour of what it looks like, because this sounds gorgeous.
It really
It
is.
really is. Yeah.
I was shocked when I saw it. I was like, that was not what I was expecting. It's really
That's amazing
beautiful.
when someone like you,
Yeah,
who
I
lives
really
in the world
was.
like
I was
this,
like, okay,
Yeah.
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 I will tell you, the Womack brothers really have spared absolutely no expense with everything on this project. I think they're really proud to put their name on it, being from Cartersville and having the history that they have here, and their family being from here, and Cindy and I both. We're all very proud to be associated with this project and happy to be a part of it.
It is a very, very, very high quality.
All right, so if somebody is interested, because that's walking distance, it technically is in historic downtown.
It is.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's definitely walking distance to all of downtown.
Yes.
What a great place to have and a great view. If somebody's interested in sitting down with you or talking about it, maybe they want to get rid of their large lawn estate that they've got because they're sick of doing lawn maintenance and everything. They'd rather be part of a smaller. It's not really small in terms of square footage, but in
Right.
terms of responsibility. How do they get in touch with you?
They can call us, email us. The best thing to do is just pick up the phone and give us a call. My number is 770-655-2412, and Gina is 770-653-9328.
Fantastic.
And you can slow that down if you want to.
Sorry, I talk a little. I talk a little fast.
Well,
Also, we
people
will be
keep
having.
saying Southerners aren't fast. I'm like, have
well,
you met
yes,
my
we-
friend Cindy?
Sorry.
That's all right. I speak very fast too. Well, I got so much I got to say.
Well, also, if anybody is interested in getting on our VIP list for the open house, once the model is decorated and ready, we'll be having a nice invitation-only open house. And so if anybody out there is interested in getting on that list, feel free to shoot us a text with your info, and
Now,
we'll put you on the
between
list.
you and me, is my significant other in your inner circle?
Maybe.
I think I'll let her come. I'm not sure about you.
Okay, I totally get that. No, that goes without saying. Unless you need a court jester, in which case, fine. Gina, let's shift gears for a second.
Okay,
Let's talk
sure.
about in general getting a realtor. You guys, we've talked about it before, have so many services that you want to bring to bear to make it easier. You said something that you're running to people who are doing more than they really need to get involved with you guys.
Yes, and another large part, and of course, a large part of our business right now is City Overlook, and it's going wonderful, and we're blessed to be a part of that. Another part of our business, and it has been for a couple of years now, and will continue to be, we hope for a very long time, is our senior real estate business, where we are helping people downsize. And everybody's that is something that's going to continually happen. I don't care what the market happens, what happens to the market, or how it bears. It is something that is continually there is a need for it, and we found that through our other customers and clients, and it's why we lean towards really specializing in this. And what we found through some of our customers, some of ours that have come to us lately, they have kind of, before they even called us, they kind of thought they were doing a favor and saying, we've already done this and this and this and this. And then by the time they got to us and we're trying to get the estate sale person lined up and all this, they've done too much. They've gotten rid of too much. We're like, oh. When the estate sale person says, did how many trips to the Goodwill? You did what? Like, oh, we're sorry. You've gotten rid of too much stuff. You've done done too much. So really the very first thing you need to do before you pick up one thing, before you throw away one piece of expired food, whatever it is, do not do anything, but just call us for a consultation, because really our expertise comes with helping you create the plan. That's where the stress comes from, not knowing what to do. Don't put the cart before the horse, and let us help you make the plan, because we have seen that, and it's happened just a couple of times here lately, and we're like, oh, no. So now you got to reshift and figure out what you're going to do from here. And they don't realize that the things that we do for them, we take care of all of it. You don't have to touch a thing.
Right.
You don't even have to touch all that stuff in the garage or all that stuff. Let us handle all of that. And so that's the biggest concern we've come across right now is let us come in there and help you create that plan,
Right.
or let us just talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Well, Gina, I'm assuming what people are thinking is, well, I don't want to get charged for all that, so I'll just do it.
And exactly, that is, we do not charge for that
Wait,
service.
you don't
believe
charge
it or not.
for that?
I know.
And a couple things people don't realize: estate sale companies have minimums.
Yes,
So
large
if you
minimums.
if you get rid of too much,
It's not
our
worth them to
estate sale
set up for a
companies
sale.
cannot- that's right. Then we have to go a different route, which is usually we will arrange to donate those items. But if if you've
Which
got
ironically they were already doing, right?
Right, exactly,
right,
which is
right,
funny.
but we can do that for you.
Usually we can arrange to get that donated and hauled off at no cost to you, whereas you've been breaking your back, hauling it off in many trips to the Goodwill or wherever you're taking it, and it is just I know that a lot of times they just want to get started and get stuff, but the first thing to do is to call us and let us help you, give you a plan.
Yeah.
So I know my beloved bride. See, if somebody's coming over, you got to make it look like there's never anything out of place.
Oh my goodness, no.
Yeah.
But if you're literally wanting to move and you think that you want to be able to make money on an estate sale or try to take stuff away and whatever, it really should be you guys sit down first and say, okay, well, what's the plan before we do anything?
Yep.
You got to have a plan.
Yep.
Well, and a lot of that plan also not even incorporates the physical part of it as far as the material items in the house. It also pertains to the physical labor of it. Who in the family is going to be able to help? Do you have out-of-town family that's coming in, or do you not have? You have no one that can help. So then it becomes who are the parties that are wanting to help, able to help, who are participating, or do you want us to just take care of all of it? And so sometimes we have some very very
Sometimes we have hands-on people,
really hands-on
who really
people.
want to be there for
And-
every step, and
then-
that's okay too.
And then we have some that it might be a situation where it might be a little difficult for family members to say no to this person or that. I said, okay, who's the person in charge? Tell us what are the rules and regulations.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say Cindy and I are the bad people, because we're not the bad people. We're just the ones that take the stress off of anybody else in the family members. In the time that is a sensitive time of their lives and a stressful time of their lives, it takes that stress off of them.
Yeah.
The analogy that I'm hearing is why you want a good wedding planner.
Yeah.
When you've got all of the emotion and all the family and everything going on, you don't want to be calling Uncle Bob, hey, back off. You need the wedding planner
Right.
who's going to be the
Yes.
kind of the go-between,
That's
a
who's the
good
neutral
analogy.
third
Yeah.
party
It's a very good
who
one.
can manage the expectations, what's
Yep.
going on.
And Cindy and I say it all the time, at the end of the day, our whole process for this is to take the stress out of it for everyone involved. That's it.
So we're going to take a break right now. We've got more with our guests. It's a second Saturday here on Waking Up with Alan. It's a real estate second Saturday. We're here with Gina Durbano and Cindy Dent, and we're chatting all things real estate, but we got to take a break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. Waking Up with Alan here. I figured since we're talking real estate, little Subdivisions by Rush, a little good bump for me. Plus, it's Rush. I mean, how can you go wrong? Cindy Dent, Gina Durbano in studios with me for our Real Estate Second Saturday. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that people should start thinking about from the very first moment if you're thinking about buying or selling, but in this case, selling. You guys have so many services. Not every realtor does what you guys do, correct?
Definitely not, because it's hard work, and we don't get any extra money for it. It's just something
And you
that
don't charge for it.
we do
No.
not charge for it.
That's what I
some
don't
of the-
understand. How does that work?
Well, some of the services that we bring in, like the people that we bring in, the estate sale companies, of course they charge. We just don't. We don't charge anything additional for overseeing the whole. Making the plan, overseeing the plan. We're there. We're usually there the first day of the estate sale, the last day of the estate sale. We're there the day the movers show up. Obviously, the movers charge, but we're there.
But those are things you would normally pay for no matter what. But the difference here is I don't have to invest hours of time and research and calling and friend of a friend.
That's
and
right.
Who do you recommend? You guys have already done that. You vetted all these folks.
That's right. That's
Correct.
right. And a lot of times people are from out of town. Somebody's parent passes away, and the house is here in Bartow County, and they live in Alabama, or they live in wherever.
Yeah.
And they don't have time to keep coming back and forth. So we do all of that, from start to finish.
And it's not to say that you have to use who we recommend, because obviously our only relationship with those individual vendors is that we've used them and they provide us really good service. They know us, they know what we expect, and we have very high expectations, and they know if they want us to continue to refer them, that they will exceed those expectations for us. But if you've got somebody in your family that owns a moving company, absolutely we'll work with them.
Yeah.
Right.
But they just know how we, the ones that we do work with, they already know how we work, and they know that we're, they come and ask us, where do you want this? Where do you want that? We've already got the plan laid out. We've got all the rooms labeled and numbered, and every piece of furniture tagged, and the floor plan laid out. Those are the types of things that we do that kind of make things go a lot more efficiently.
And I have to imagine, using your example of maybe somebody's relative has passed away and they're in a different state, with FaceTime, with video, with the internet and all the tools we have, you can actually do a lot of this virtually.
Yeah, and typically what we ask them to do, if they just don't have time to be involved, come and get anything of value, anything that you want, and any personal, obviously like bank statements or, any kind of personal paperwork that you want to get out of there. Come get all that, and then we'll take over from there.
We usually have a calendar set, like by this date, this has to be done, because after this date, this is when we start rolling.
Because the estate sale, sometimes our people are, 6-8 weeks out. So, we
Because
have
they've
to go
got
ahead
so
and
many
get,
other things booked.
right.
Gotcha. Well, so and I used to do this as well, was about project management, but you guys, in a way, have a project plan. There are
That's
things that
exactly
have to
right.
happen in a certain order.
Yes.
They do.
And you've got it already mapped out. We don't have to reinvent this wheel.
That's right. That's right.
Like I
Yep.
said before, you don't want to get the cart before the horse.
So besides maybe doing too much in terms of selling, what are some of the other maybe mistakes that you're seeing that sellers are doing, thinking they're doing the right thing? Like maybe doing repairs,
Yeah.
changing out cabinets, doing things to think that, well, this will increase the value for my sale.
People do things a lot of times that they think will increase the value. Does it make the house look a little better? Yeah. We'll tell you this will probably make it sell a little quicker, but you won't get your money back. Or this, you'll get 100% of your money back. This, you'll probably get 80% back, but it's really important. I mean, we'll kind of break it down for you on what's important to do and what's not important to do. People's ideas are different. It's amazing sometimes. You know, we've got a guy right now that, you know, is he asked about replacing some shelving in the closet. We don't
Wire
need
shelving.
to replace wire shelving in the closet. That shelving is just fine. Like, you'll never get your money back for doing that.
And I'm trying to imagine the person who's looking at a perfect home and go, oh, but it's got wire racks in the. They're not going to say no,
Right,
And
right.
if they want to reach through the closets, they'll do them themselves.
Well, and it depends on the price range of the house,
Right.
you know. So all of that you have to take into account.
Yeah, so
this
every-
is a $350,000 house, and you expect to see wire shelving. That's what you're going to see in all of them. So you know, it's just things that people don't know, and so we try to help with that as well.
And again, it kind of goes back to exactly what Cindy just touched on. Depending on the property, whether that property is something that somebody's going to flip, you know, that they want to be able to, you're looking looking for a cash buyer and get it gone quick, or you're in that higher end. Every property is going to have a different list of what we
Right.
would suggest you would do or not do.
Right.
It's going to depend on the property.
It's context specific.
Exactly.
Well, and we try to determine who's your buyer. That's the first thing we do. Who's your buyer? Is it a family? Is it a single person? Is it, you know, we kind of figure out who we think your buyer is going to be, and that's who we cater to.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But again, if everybody thought common sense, it'd be everyone would already have thought of this. We've got a few minutes here in the studio still with our guest doing a real estate second Saturday, giving some examples of things to do and maybe not do if you're going to sell your home. What about things like painting the home or painting rooms? Or is that one of those things where it might sell better, but you can also use it as a negotiation saying, hey, we're willing to come down a little on the price because we know you're going to want to paint when you move in, but we don't know what colors you want, unless maybe you've got really wild colors, in which case maybe it's better to go neutral. But what's your stance kind of on painting in general?
Well, it depends. Like you said, I mean, you know,
That's going to be our answer to most everything.
Yeah, I mean, if you walk in and there are wild colors or the walls are just in terrible shape, obviously we will recommend it be painted.
And painting is one of the most least expensive,
Yeah.
quick fixes that
And
you
it will
can do.
freshen up a house.
It'll
very
smell like a
quickly.
newer house.
Yeah.
It'll smell good. It'll be fresh, clean.
And you know, we like to be at least involved in choosing the paint color because we know what's popular. We
Right.
know what people like, what people don't like. And so call
No
us
oops
again,
paint.
call us before you do it.
What?
No oops paint.
No, oops.
Yeah. We got this really cheap. Yeah.
We can see that.
You know, there is value to that. I know people say, well, I could do it myself a lot cheaper. You know what? The one time we decided to have a professional crew come in because we knew we wanted to get it done like very quickly. It's amazing the people who do
You
this
don't even
for a
realize how
living,
bad you are until you have somebody
how fast
and how fast they are.
the prep,
Yes.
the amount of attention to detail that,
Yes.
I mean, I would probably have to go whole weekends where they
Yes.
come in one day and prep, the next day they come in, paint, and they're done.
And they're done. Yep.
And it's amazing.
And
It
they will
is
spend
amazing.
more time on prep
Yes.
than they do paint.
well,
And
it
that's
makes the
key.
paint faster.
That's the key.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I get it. People are like, well, I don't want to spend a couple of $1,000. I mean, your time's valuable too.
Absolutely.
You're right.
Absolutely.
And I would rather have a group of people who know what they're doing in, out, done, and it looks great than for me to go, oh, boy, did I hit the roller on the ceiling. Or,
Yeah.
oh, I when I pulled the tape, it pulled half the paint with, I've
and
been
it
there.
really is one of the most inexpensive ways to update your home and get it ready for the market.
But again, let
It
you
really
guys
is.
be involved with picking the
Yes,
colors too.
yes,
Because you probably want something a little more neutral, but I don't know I know the quote, the agreeable gray has been the big thing for a while. What is it now? Is it still in that same
No,
grayish,
it's gone lighter.
beige?
It's gone lighter.
Even lighter still? Yeah.
Definitely now it's lighter and
Brighter.
brighter. You know, we have some favorite colors and that we use. You know, we
So you spend all this money painting, now we got to go do it all over again.
Got to do it about every 10 years.
Yeah, I guess so. All right. Hey, we only have about a minute left. Cindy, I'll let you go first. How do people get in touch with you?
Well, you can call me, 770-655-2412. You can email me, text me. The best way to email both of us is northgeorgiaactiveliving@gmail.com. All together, no spaces, no dashes, and all spelled out.
Yep.
And Gina, for you?
My telephone number is 770-653-9328.
And when is that open house going to be? Pretty soon for the
It'll
city
be late
overlook?
fall. It'll be late fall.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful weather. I mean, we've already gotten some nice cool weather. I'll tell you what, after last weekend, I'm ready for fall.
Oh,
me
my
too.
goodness. It was a
Me
tease,
too.
wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Ladies, thanks so much for
Thank
being
you,
here.
Alan.
And great. I love having you in the studios. You just brighten my whole day. Thank you so
We
much.
love being here.
It's 9 o'clock, top of the hour, WBHF Cartersville. Another hour to roll. First up, Fox News. Good morning, everyone. It is 18 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour as we begin officially the third full hour of Waking Up with Alan. Let me give you the phone number. It's 770-386-1450. If you'd like to be part of the show this morning, if there's something that you want to bring up. And hey, unlike other shows, first of all, unlike other shows, we do take calls. I know some talk show hosts don't like the idea of, oh, but what if they ask me something I don't know? It's going to make me look bad. I'm just not going to take phone calls. No, that's not us here. And number two, we don't have a call screener that's going to make you stay on topic. If you've got something else that's just in the back of your mind you just want to talk about, you can call as well. You can nudge the ship. In fact, let's go to the phones right now. Good morning. You're on the air, WBHF. Who's this?
Hey, it's Chris.
Well, hello, Traffic Trooper Chris. What's up, buddy?
Just had a quick question for you. I won't take up too much of your time. You were talking about how you wouldn't be able to sleep at night, basically lying to the public as far as your news reports and everything compared to the journalists and everything. I wanted to throw out an idea. What if they don't actually believe they're lying? What if they actually believe the stuff that they're actually saying?
Okay, it's a really good question, but let me ask you this, Chris. Well, for example, let's take the very fine people hoax. We all know that. Even Snopes knows that that's not true. And yet I've seen the same paid influencers will say, I can't believe the guy who believed the fine people hoax is now going to do this. Like, they'll constantly reference. There's no way they can't know that that's a lie.
My thought is, what if they just are so, I don't even know how to explain it, what if they're so in the Kool-Aid that they just...
Okay, you're right. Okay, and that's probably why they can sleep at night, because they think they're right. I don't know, Chris. I guess that's why I do what I do, and that's why more people keep listening to what I'm providing versus some other sources, is because I like to stay self-aware enough to know that, hey, if new facts show up, if new details are out there, I may have to change my position, and I'm actually okay with that because it's just who I am. And I think you've listened to me long enough. You know when I'm like, okay, I got that wrong, and I will tell you that.
Sure, yeah, and it's not at all trying to call you out on anything like that. It's
I know.
It's more of the just trying to rationalize. Not that these people are trying to get away with, lying, but what if they just flat out believe the stuff that they're talking about and just will not accept facts or truth or anything like that? They're just, I'm not sure. I just an idea.
No, I think there are, and Chris, here's the thing. I have no problem with somebody who is for the very first time looking at a story, and this is what they're getting right out of the gate. They're like, okay, this is what I have, and I'm going to run with it. My issue is when 3 days later or 3 weeks later or 3 months later, there's a whole new group of information that would lead a normal person to go, oh, okay, so my initial findings were wrong. I need to correct it.
Right.
These folks don't go back and correct it. And when I see the same people make the same mistake and repeat the same lies, now I just can't trust them because they have to know. They just choose not to.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. See, it's difficult because what if they're just potentially ignoring it or something. I'm not sure. I'm just trying to rationalize how they can, how they can have a conscience.
I know it is. You hear me sometimes just like I keep saying these words, but I know they don't make any sense. I'm like, I just can't wrap my mind around it. Well, obviously they do it, but I really can't wrap my mind around it. How do you do that? How are you constantly wrong and you're okay being constantly wrong and you just go to the next thing to be wrong about?
Somehow they still have a job. So.
It's amazing. Chris, thank you so much for being out there, and thanks for being a listener. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care. Bye-bye. 770-386-1450 is the phone number. I'm going to bring the voice who fills in whenever I'm not here, and he's doing a little training today because coming up in just about 6-7 weeks, I'm going to be going on some vacation. So, Walt, good morning, buddy.
Good morning.
Good to have you here.
You know, Alan, I was climbing the walls when he was talking because it's truth over ideology. And if you are going to be an ideologue and you're going to say, well, I'm just a right-wing person, or I'm just a left-wing person, or I'm a libertarian, when something comes against your opinion or your ideology that is truth, you have to embrace the truth. Mm-hmm. And I think that is one of the hardest things for an ideologue who's being paid to talk.
I agree.
To sit back and go, I was wrong. That Superman movie really is good. Mm-hmm. And you've been bashing the Superman. You have to be able to say the thing that I thought. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of like with the masks that we were joking about earlier. Like some of those people that are now like, the masks didn't really do anything. And
right.
We were telling everybody they had to put face diapers on. You have to be able to do that. That's part of being an adult, and it's part of being mature is, hey, I was wrong about this, and maybe I shouldn't have bought the baloney. That's
funny. You say that. Maybe that's why I use that phrase, children in adult bodies, because some of these politicians that should know better certainly throw their king-size tantrums like they're 4-year-old toddlers.
Yeah, and I'm guilty. I mean, I've done that before, too.
You throw toddler tantrums?
Once or twice in my life. Hopefully not anymore. I don't have the energy or time for it, but I'm sorry. I wanted to jump in and just say that before I forgot. But it's great being here this morning. It's good to be in front of the microphone and in the studio.
It's been a while.
It has been a while. I'm a little busy. Getting joints replaced and grandkids running around.
You got your bionic ankle. How's that working?
It's great. Like first time in 15 years, I haven't had arthritis pain in my ankle.
Wow.
I just cannot speak more highly of my orthopedic surgeon and their team. And I mean, it's amazing. I'm still dealing with. I'm 2 months out from a full ankle replacement, so still dealing with a lot of swelling in it and going through PT and everything. But it's just amazing. It's amazing.
Medical technology is just it's kind of like computers. It feels like the advances are coming almost daily.
Yeah.
I actually one of the things we love doing on Bartow's Morning News is once a month we bring in a doctor from Piedmont Cartersville Medical Center, and behind the scenes they've all said the same thing. By the time they're out of medical school, out of residency, and now practicing doctors, the stuff they learned is almost old.
It's crazy. Well, 8 years ago when I had my last surgery, this wasn't even on the radar. 3 years ago, I would have done a fusion, an ankle fusion, and now it's a full ankle replacement. I mean, it's amazing times.
Yeah.
And think about what's going to be 5 years, 10 years, 15 years down the road.
The more we have, and whether we like it or not, AI is not going anywhere. It's only going to get worse or more pervasive. Between robotic surgery and AI being able to do everything intensely precise, not get distracted, not be tired, not have the headache, not have the sniffles, literally be able to focus entirely on doing it exactly as it needs to be done, surgeries are going to become so easy. So less invasive. I mean, some things are going to be still recovery. If you're replacing an ankle, that's still, your body's got to get used to it.
Yeah.
But the tech is amazing.
It's amazing. Well, I think I sent you and BK the x-rays, the progressive x-rays through the surgery, and the precision of that, it's really astounding. Like, we never could have dreamed of this when we were kids.
Well, before we and by the way, he will be joining us today. We'll have our Vulcan Mind Meld coming up in just a few moments after the bottom of the hour. I did have one more thing that I wanted to play. I have to clip the beginning because Dr. Phil rarely swears, but Dr. Phil was on with Bill Maher show. And Dr. Phil, I'm saying Phil and Bill, was on talking about how Dr. Phil has gone on these ICE raids to kind of see what goes on, see what really is happening, not how the media is portraying it, not how the right's portraying it or the left. He really wanted to know. And you got, of course, Bill Maher is out there trying to paint this picture, but these are just families, and they're going and busting up families, and these poor people, and nobody wants to see a family. And Dr. Phil's like, okay, and I'm going to use the letters. He goes, that's BS. And Bill Maher's like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, what you're saying is BS. So I'm going to take it from there. Now, Dr. Phil said the real words. I can't play them on the air, but he said that's BS. And then this is what he said to Bill Maher as part of the interview on his show.
They're not separating families?
No. Look, if you arrest somebody that's a citizen that has committed a crime or is DUI with the child in the back seat, do you think they don't separate that family right then, right there?
But that's not what's going on.
Of course they do.
Of course,
but what you're talking about, I was hearing you in your monologue saying you've got these ICE agents with mask on.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you why they have their mask on. Because we actually have legislators who passed laws about immigration and funded those laws to be executed. They actually pay these agents to go out and do this, and now they're doxing them. They're putting their names,
yes, that's
their
wrong.
pictures, their addresses of their families on the internet. They're putting them on telephone poles. So, of course, they're wearing masks so they don't get outed, so people can do violence against their families. The negative actions against ICE agents are up 1,000% in the last several months. 130% violence against them. And why them? They didn't make the laws. They didn't make that law. What do you expect them to do? Just not do their job? If you don't like the law, change it. I don't like that law at all. Change the law.
If you don't like it, why are you going?
Because that is the law.
And it goes on for a little bit longer, but the point that Dr. Phil's making is the absolute truth here. And Walt, we were talking about the difference between an ideologue, Bill Maher, and Dr. Phil, who's like, I just want to know first. He's given us the whole story. Yeah. Well, why are they wearing masks? They shouldn't have to. But the very legislators who passed the laws, who funded the ICE agents, who funded these agencies, are now turning around and saying we now need to out these agents that we funded to go follow the law.
Well, I have a very strong opinion on this one. My dad, of course, was
30
a
seconds.
retired FBI agent. In a nutshell, there are still guys that he worked with who are living under assumed names because of the dangerous nature of that job and the fact that there are people who want to do them harm. Those agents have the right to do that. Those agents should absolutely be wearing masks, and I agree with Dr. Phil. All
right, we're going to take a break, bottom of the hour. We may carry a little of this over because, Walt and I have a lot of these similarities, but also the Vulcan Mind Meld. Coming up, here's GNN. And welcome back. And that's the sound we use to introduce a segment we've had for many, many years now called the Vulcan Mind Meld, where two shows literally merge into one. We may spill over some of the stuff from my show into this segment, and it certainly is a nice bridge to head over into BK's show. So I'm going to say good morning to BK from BK on the Air.
Good morning. We've got to be the red one, though. The red lamp was the best one, the lava lamp. The blue and the green were cool, but red is the color of my lava.
There is no doubt about that.
Yeah.
From what I talk about on my show to the original lava lamp, yes, we're red here.
That's right.
Red, white, and blue, if anything.
Yeah.
Merc.
Did they ever do a red, white, and blue lava lamp?
No, I don't know if you could get all those colors to work together. Maybe. We'll have to look that up. I don't want to make that assumption. I do love the classic red and orange because, that's why I got the name lava lamp. It looked like lava.
And as a little kid, I never was little, but as a younger kid, somebody asked me, they're like, hey, I lost some weight. I weigh 200 pounds now. And I'm like, did I ever show you any of my pictures when I weighed 200 pounds? And she's like, no, I never saw any of your baby pictures.
When I was in 5th grade.
Yeah, your baby pictures.
Walt is here as well. We'll say hello, Walt, again.
Hello.
It's not that you didn't lose the weight. It's just you found it again.
That's right. Turn around. It's right behind me.
Every time I find it, it's right. Hey, there you were.
Yeah,
Where'd you go?
I always thought it was real lava when I was a kid, was what I was going to say. Because I didn't know any better. I'm like, you said it's a lava lamp. There's lava in there. Look at that.
Well, and technically the original ones had to get hot enough for the kind of wax to melt and then cool at the surface, which is, it was hot at the base because it had a hot, basically like your easy bake oven.
Right, yeah.
Like you get third-degree burns for your kids. That's great.
Speaking of getting hot and melting, have you ever seen the tote candle from Raiders of the Lost Ark that they sell?
Oh, my gosh, yes. I need to get that.
Melting is like just light the top of his hat and he's going to melt just like in Raiders of the Lost Ark at the end when they open
That's
the ark.
hysterical.
Appropriate.
So we're all the three knuckleheads all together.
Yeah, can you tell?
It's
Can you tell?
great.
Three nuts.
Yes.
Mo, Larry, Curly,
Yeah.
Shemp.
No. No. We don't want Shemp. The original Three
I'd take
Stooges.
Shemp over Joe, though.
Absolutely.
The one after Shemp.
No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I'll take Shemp.
Well, there's degrees of suck, and yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, someone does suck a lot more. So
guys-
I'd go with the person who sucks last.
Yes.
You guys know that Shemp, Mo, and Curly were all brothers.
Yeah.
Larry was the outsider, but he fit in, though, too, which was great.
Mo, Larry, Curly are my original. Like, those are the ones I first saw.
Yeah.
Whenever Shemp was in, I was like, who's the fill-in? Like, it never worked for me in my head when even as a kid, I was like, but that's not Mo.
Right.
What's going on?
Yeah,
Right.
what's going on? Yeah.
Yeah. The original three for me, those were the three original. I get
Well,
it.
when you think of the Three Stooges, that's the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a money grab or something.
Well, their movies weren't that great. When they started making their movies in
No,
the 50s, they just lost something. I don't know what it was. Yeah. Do you guys know the last appearance in a movie by them was in a motion picture? The movie called "It's a Mad, 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 Mad World." Did you ever see that
I've
movie?
never seen that movie. I know of it. I know the title.
It's a great movie about a bunch of people searching for a treasure or whatever. They've left clues to find treasure,
Yeah,
and it's what a
like
cast.
mid-70s.
What a cast in 60s. It's the early 60s, and there's one scene where they're at the airport and there's a fire or something, and they're like, "Call the fireman! Call the fireman!" And the camera pans over, and it's them three just standing there with hoses. It's just the Three Stooges with Joe Dorita, and that's it. And it just cuts away from them. So I think that was their last motion picture appearance.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know how we got to there. How do we get anywhere on the show?
It's
we
you.
always go somewhere. I'm sorry.
Right.
I blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I generally will blame you.
This station's taking a big risk next weekend. WBHF, again, is taking one of the biggest risks they'll ever take, is letting me out of the
letting you
studio
out?
to appear in public next Saturday.
Well, sometimes not having you here is best.
I might be sick next week. I'm trying to remember. No. No, we've got a remote.
Yes, we do.
Matthews
Kia next Saturday. Now, I've asked to do something. Whether they're going to let me do it or not, I don't know. But I've asked to. I want to jump some Kias in a Kia. You know the little Kia bird? It's KEA. They're little tiny birds. They're about 3 inches tall. I want to put about 20 of them in a row and jump them in one of their new K4 sports cars.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll let me do it, but I've got it in.
Oh, I don't know why they wouldn't.
I want to ask, see if they'll
it
do that.
Sounds like a great
We
plan.
you
go
don't
out on a
think-
limb here.
You don't think that'll make the news?
Oh no, it
And
absolutely
get them
would.
some advertising and people listening to what's going on? Are you kidding?
I think we're headed for a Super Dave Osborne moment, really. But
I think I'm headed for 2 ankle replacements.
I'm thinking
fun.
Kevin
Some of the
Carroll
Walt
is
Mart.
rethinking his life.
Hey, I didn't say I'm going to do it. I just said I got an idea. I got an idea. I'll run it by him. But yeah, we'll be there next Saturday.
yes, definitely run that by him. I'm sure that
And over them.
Some very serious thought to that.
I'm looking forward to it. Anytime we can get out and get some fresh air, that's fun. But they do take a chance when I get out in public, so that's fine.
And we have to dress nicer.
Oh, we
can't-
do? We
I'm
do?
not going to wear. Well, I bring up my ripped jeans on Saturday because I'm told I can't wear those in public. I'm like, well, I'm in the radio. I'm in the studio, so I love having my weekend clothes, my grubbies, as I used to call them as a kid. Put my grubbies on, my grubby
that's right.
clothes.
That gives me a chance to break out the WBHF polo shirt. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about that. Yeah, we can wear it out in public.
Yeah. Hoorah. By the way, next weekend I'm going to be really busy by the time we get to Saturday because we've got 2 football games already because of the shortage of referees. We have a Thursday night football game and a Friday night football game that we'll be bringing to you on WBHF.
Wow.
So yeah, so we got 2 football. We got a football Friday, but we also have a football Thursday, and then we're going to have our remote on Saturday. Yeah, that's going to be a lot of
Wow.
broadcasting hours going on here on
Wow.
WBHF.
Yeah.
Well, good. We can do it.
What's the Thursday game?
It's Cartersville.
And Friday?
Is going to be Cass, I believe, at the Corky Kell Classic.
Oh, okay.
The nice thing about the Cass one is while I'll be here running the board for commercials, I think Charles Wilson is already going to handle the broadcast, and when that game's over, we'll be done. We'll do the full Friday night version on Thursday, so we'll do the pregame show at 6 o'clock. We usually do from Scott's Walk Up Barbecue, and then we'll do. I think they're calling it Under the Helmet this time instead of or whatever they're calling the next pregame. So for 6 to 7, pregame at Scott's Walk Up Barbecue. We usually have content from 7 until 7:20, and then the guys get up. That gives them time to get from Scott's up to the booth at Weinman Stadium, and then from about 10 minutes before kickoff, they kind of get back on the air. We start making sure that we're ready for the countdown to kickoff, and so it's 90-minute pregame for high school football. But you know what? This community loves it.
Yeah.
And you live in Woodstock, right? Or no, where do you live
I'm in
now?
Kennesaw.
You're in Kennesaw now. It doesn't matter where you live. Your high school football. I didn't realize when I moved here from Michigan, it's borderline religion.
Oh, it's wild. Yeah,
between high school and
wild.
college.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things when I first moved down here, I used to be much more of a pro NFL guy. I don't watch the NFL anymore. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Why you watch that crap? You watch college."
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I get it.
So
it took me a while, but yeah, I watch college.
Yeah, and I mean, literally from noon Friday until 3 a.m. Sunday morning, it's high school and college football.
Now, here's something, and I know BK's already kind of gone. He's already out. Yeah,
He isn't even sure what we're talking about.
But that's why I love having Walt in here, because I can actually segue into some of this. But here's my wife and I every year. I don't know where you are with your college football watching, but there's always what's the app that's going to be the least expensive, that's going to get me the games I care about, that I'm going to sign up for 5 months and then cancel when football's over. Usually we're spending $60, $70 because they knew it. They had you.
It's crazy, yeah.
We had Wes Durham in studios yesterday. Wes Durham actually does a show on ESPN. We know ESPN's owned by Disney. Mm-hmm. ESPN on August the 21st is going to have a completely revamped, redesigned ESPN entire app for $30 a month. We'll have every ESPN stream, every ACC stream, every SEC stream for $30 a month.
Well, that works out great for me because I'm also a hockey fan, and they carry the NHL. So
I told my wife, I'm like, we already know what we're going to sign up for.
Yeah.
We're going to sign up for when it goes live on the 21st. They're also going to change Disney Plus. Apparently, they're going to roll Disney Plus and Hulu together.
Yes. Yeah, they already have. Yeah.
Well, I know they're advertising it that way, but I think the app is going to be merged. There's a Hulu app, and then there's
so my kids have the Disney app, and there is an actual Hulu box on there. So I don't know exactly.
So they're probably doing the slow merge over, but
yeah.
I think that they announced that the 21st, August 21st, was going to be the final changeover.
I remember a few years ago, everything broke up and everything was 5 million different things you had to subscribe to. I think that's starting to kind of recongeal.
Well, this is where we can bring BK back into the conversation. See, I cut cable probably 12 years ago.
Yeah, I did too.
Because it was so expensive because to buy the channels I wanted, I had to buy the packages I didn't give a darn about to get all the channels I would never watch for the 1 or 2 I needed.
Right.
So we cut the cable because of streaming. And then we all got into this habit of we'll just get this next service. Oh, to get that show, I need this service. Whoa, to get that show, I need that service. And then you start going, holy crap, I'm back to paying the same amount I was paying.
Or more.
So we had to cut back. Now, we pay for our channels. We get it. Our kids like to sponge off of us by trying to pretend that they live in the house and they use our account. Some services are cracking down on that. In fact, a lot of them are cracking down with geofencing. So we're like to our kids, hey, sorry, we're logged in. You're not going to be able to log in from where you are because it's registered by our zip code.
Yeah, we were watching a game last fall, and it kept kicking us out saying too many people were on. And it's because everybody had the game on TV, game on their devices in 4 different locations. And we're like, what is going on here? Why can't we watch the game? So we kept overriding everybody. But yeah, it's insane. And they are cracking down.
I will tell you, the streaming technology, though, is so incredible. Because we actually had one of those with my daughter bought, I forgot what the streaming for sports was last year. And it would only allow 1 primary device, but up to 4 mobile devices. Oh. And it knows whether you're looking at a tablet or your phone or a television. They had it on their television. So if we went to go log to put it on our television, it kicked them off because you can only have 1 primary.
Right.
We were trying to figure because we were watching for 30 seconds. All of a sudden, it was like, where'd it go? And we signed back in. There it is again. Oh, okay. Where'd it go? Finally, my daughter texts us, what are you guys doing? We're trying to watch the game. We're trying to watch the game. What we had to do is it would allow us to, thanks to our TV, I could mirror
Right.
from my phone. So I could stream to my phone, no problem.
so crazy.
It's my phone to an 85-inch widescreen HD TV, 4K, beautiful. I'm like, how is that
It's
possible?
amazing.
Gorgeous.
That's
The technology
Great
is
times.
unbelievable. Yeah, we live in some really good times. BK, you're being awful quiet.
You people are horrible. You're like stealing music from Napster. It's that all over again. You're all just criminals. You're a bunch of criminals.
It's the kids that are the problem.
it's the kids.
Well, they're criminals.
We're fine.
They're
Marty,
horrible.
you got to come
They're
back
horrible.
with me. Don't say it's me. No, it's your kids. Something's got to be done about them. We're going to take a break. Our last commercial timeout. We're having our Vulcan Mind Meld. 3 knuckleheads here in the studios, and we're having a great time, as we always do. A nice roll into BK on the air. We'll be right back.
Freeze frame!
Welcome back. Waking Up with Alan here. We're in the midst of our Vulcan Mind Meld final segment. I can't believe we're already heading to the top of the 10 o'clock hour, which means we've got BK in studios. We've got Walt into Darkness in studios. And BK, I need you to step it up. I need you to stop pouting. Stop acting like a temper tantrum 4-year-old.
I'm trying to join in here. You know that Joe Namath was in a Brady Bunch episode.
Was he?
Yeah.
Was it good?
Yeah. It's pretty good. Bobby liked him. And they played football in
Did
the
you learn a
backyard,
lot from that?
On the AstroTurf in the backyard.
The
that they had,
AstroTurf.
on the set.
You know, there are people who actually do now fake lawns.
Really? No,
Yes,
I didn't know that.
because the turf looks so good today.
I know that there's the Roomba lawnmowers now.
There
that
are.
running around.
That's crazy.
And I saw I was in a I was in a quick trip
It's true.
gas station the other day, and they had the automated robot mopping the floor and cleaning the floor, and it would talk to you. It would look out, cleaning the floor. Thank you for shopping at Quick Trip, and he'd just go around you. It's like, yeah, we're gonna get taken over. It's Terminator.
What's the name of that little guide bot droid like in Star Wars?
Star Wars that with that.
Oh yeah.
I know he's got a name, but I can't remember what
Whatever
his
that
little
name is,
bleep,
little mouse
bleep
droid or
thing
whatever
does.
they call
What does
it.
he do? Is that what he does?
He's the
Clean
map
up the
droid.
floor?
He's like, the Death Star is so big, I don't know how to get to one side or the other. Why have an app? I have a bot. I can just follow
and
him.
he's cleaning the floor too.
Yeah.
He does a dual purpose. Oh, and George Foreman was on an episode of Sanford and Son.
We actually upgraded to a new room vac that does the mopping as well. Mopping needs has a little less to be desired, but it still does. It tries.
Yeah.
We give it E for effort.
Yeah, there you go.
It does a great job though mapping now. I'm amazed at just watching us with the technology. We were talking, Walt, with you with the surgery. My very first Roomba, it just would bounce around all day. It had the sensor so it wouldn't go off the stairs. But it was like, how do you not know where everything is? I would watch, like, you missed that area. Now I've got the app. It literally shows me exactly where it's gone. It maps the whole room.
Wild.
It's got little sensors like, oh, dog toy was left here. I won't try to suck up the dog toy and get broken. I'll just go around it. And it's amazing.
Well, the other week I had to get a new garage door opener, and the guy was like, "Hey, this doesn't have Bluetooth." I'm like, I don't need an app for my garage door opener. I'm good. And I'm just thinking, like, it's amazing that we can do that.
Everything's an app now. Well,
You
BK and I
mop your
found that
floor
out when we
from-
did a remote at the train show. We're like, oh, you just control the train from your phone. I'm like, well, what's the fun in that? I guess there is.
I didn't know that at all until we saw that. And for your refrigerators, to have the little thing inside it to let you know on the app that what you're out of, or the see-through doors or whatever, and all that stuff, you know?
I don't have one that allows me to that looks what I'm missing, but mine is on the. It tells me, like, I'll get a thing like your refrigerator door was left open. I'll get a warning reminding me that somebody didn't close the door.
So crazy.
I can control my ice maker. I can control the temperature. I can do everything remotely.
I would have that if it told me who left it open. If it'll tell me that much information, I mean, if it was just left open, I can't blame anybody and punish anybody for it. So,
Well, that's
I'd
where
rather
your
know who it
in-house.
did.
That's where all your cameras come from.
Everyone needs a code.
Everybody
on
gets
their
mad
app.
about the
Jesus.
police state, and yet we put cameras in every square inch of our own house so we can go watch on our own phones what's going on.
No, I don't want any inside.
Actually, I prefer that. Do you have? I'm assuming you've got cameras in and around your house.
Yeah, outside.
We didn't want to pay for a service, and I love this now. We just bought a system that allows us to add more cameras as we want, but it is internet hooked up. I could choose to subscribe to hey, we want to notify the police if we, but I don't care. I've got my alerts, but it saves it. We actually bought a really big little micro disc to put inside there,
sure.
and it saves everything. So I can go back if something has happened. I can pull the video. I can look at it. But we have every square inch of our backyard and our homestead is under camera.
Yeah.
I love
That's
that.
a good thing. I do like those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like taking the Ring to the next level
Yeah.
because we
Well,
can
and-
talk through them.
Yeah,
we
I
can
was
hear
gonna say.
through them. That's great.
Yeah, and it was great when I was laid up and being able to just press a button and talk to whoever's at the front door. And yeah, I mean,
Go away, Amazon Fairy.
I'm very selective about my grouchiness over technology. Like, I don't care if
We'll use some of it, right?
Yeah,
but
like
a lot of
I
it we
don't
won't
care about
use.
my garage door opener.
Right.
But yeah, that kind of stuff. I'm like, I don't want to go to the door and talk to some religious
I don't wanna
person
go-
trying to convert me.
Go to the door.
Did y'all see the new drone with the camera on it the guy has that's shaped like the Imperial probe droid from The Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, really?
And it's floating around with those insect-looking arms and everything, and it's got the camera on. Like, I just want that floating around my house. That'd be great.
No, but I did
see
see
people
someone rigged up a drone that looked like Snoopy's doghouse when he's flying as the fighting apes.
that's awesome.
And so you had Snoopy on look like a doghouse. I'm like, okay, that's
pretty cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah.
We like that technology stuff.
Being under
We'll take
constant
that.
surveillance? Nope.
No,
Snoopy
No.
flying around? Absolutely.
absolutely. I'm all for Snoopy.
And he's doing surveillance on me, but who
Right,
cares? It's Snoopy.
right.
What harm can
See,
it
that's
do?
what they want you to do. It's something pretty and cute keeping a tabs on you. That's all right. Barbie floating around or whatever in her house.
Oh, we're gonna be getting there whether we like it or not. I saw a video yesterday. I don't know if it was at whatever trade show. They have had now the most realistic female robot that's being billed as a friend/companion. And it has AI technology that will actually respond to you. And it was doing, it goes, watch this, make a frown face. And it would frown. And it looked like she was, I'm like, why would I have I already have a wife. I don't need somebody else looking at me that way. But then it goes like, now smile, now look shocked. And I'm like, and they said, no, these are not designed to be like working around your house. They're designed to be your companions so that you can talk to them. You can have a friend. It's sad. We're actually moving more and more toward having.
That is so sad.
We're already bad about not having real live relationships because we just text all the time. Now we're going to have bots, and who knows what else we'll do with those bots.
Are the models coming out that do the work around the house?
Well, that's going to be the Optimus. Have you seen what Elon Musk is doing with the Optimus bots?
No.
I told my wife, I'm like, in our lifetimes, probably in the next 5 years, we'll have a bot. We'll have a full-size robot that'll do a lot of the manual labor around the house.
So we'll have a Rosie like the Jetsons.
Exactly. It'll be exactly like that.
And get this, 5 years since we're on this technology discussion, 5 years, there's some Japanese scientists came out last week and said within 5 years we will be able to grow teeth for people in their mouths. Because teeth are bones, but they're not like your bone, like in your other bones.
And
they
that's
can't
crazy.
regenerate and stuff.
I have heard this for the last 10, 15 years. This work at trying to get regenerative teeth.
They've said that they can do it within 5 years. We'll be able to
I don't
do
doubt
it.
it.
Crazy.
I also have, unfortunately, heard a story that said from Microsoft. They said based on where AI is going, here's what we predict: the first careers that are going to go away. Radio DJs and broadcasters are in that first wave of people they think will go away because the AI will be able to do the voice, look at the data, pull up the weather, pull up the song, and be able to do everything that you now are paying a person to do.
We don't do songs. We're not DJs, so maybe, I don't know, maybe we can stay.
I'm hoping. Well, who knows what kind of
AI will never be able to rant like us or make the mistakes that we make.
That's
on
right.
the
That's a
air.
big part of my show.
That's entertaining.
It'll make whole different mistakes, but not like our kind of mistakes.
right.
Some of the things it said it was going to get rid of historians because it won't. Why do we need historians? It does it all already. Well, we've seen that it's not right all the time.
Right.
It said it was going to get rid of authors and writers because what do you need a writer for when it can draft for you?
And very soon, actors and directors.
Oh, I wouldn't
Because
doubt
they're
that.
already AI generated films already now.
Some of these AI video tools, it's incredible. My daughters were like, "Well, you can always tell." I'm like, "Let me show you an ad that just came out."
But they're
And she's
getting
like,
better with it, though.
"Well, you can kind of tell, but I can see where." I'm like, "This is a 6-month change. It went from you could definitely tell to now it's like, is that it? Like you're actually now questioning, is it or is it not?"
Yeah.
We're gonna live through some interesting times, folks.
So you know what the best thing to do is stop watching.
Yeah.
Have friends.
Don't give them money.
And sit across the table from them, and you'll know.
You know what? We'll go into business. Come on out camping.
Right.
We're gonna try this thing called meeting people.
We're going to the lake to fish and hang out.
Funny
It's gonna be
you went
great.
that direction. I've got a huge story coming up on the show today about Universal and how they're tackling AI and what they're wanting to do. And there's even disclaimers on their films now regarding it.
Crazy.
Well, we are unfortunately out of time. But that's okay. That's why we roll right into BK from BK on the Air. So we're going to get to all the things that you love, all the nostalgia, all the fun, all the geekiness, plus Walt. And he fits in all those categories too. So thanks everybody for being here. We'll be back another episode of the Waking Up with Alan next Saturday. Stick around for BK on the Air. It's 10 o'clock, top of the hour, WBHF Cartersville. Time now for Fox News.
When I get back home, you're